trying to hit us? You were so busy. You doing all right? It's. You.
Again.
Okay. It- it- Oh, Sim.
But gonna be turn. He here today?
He should. It goes. And we're about to get started with our monthly council meeting. Before we do that, or as other, I want to give a warm welcome to one of our newest council ladies. Miss name right, Amanda Bessie Gill. Welcome, Ms. Gill. Call to order the regular monthly council meeting Tuesday, August 12th at 6 p.m. Town of Allendale. First, roll call.
You have Mayor Carter,
Present.
Mayor Pro Temp Barron here, Councilwoman Jackson. Present. Councilwoman Bessie Gill. Councilman Marlon Creek.
Here.
Councilwoman Pitt.
She's here.
Stepped. And Councilman Ring.
Okay. Okay, thank you, ma'am. A invocation and pledge to the allegiance. Preach.
Father God, in the name of Jesus, we thank you, Lord. Give you the praises, honor, and all the glory. God, we thank you for another day. We thank you for allowing everyone to drive safely to this meeting. Father, this meeting will be about citizens, or meeting before the citizens of the town hall. So we want to ask you to let this be about town business. Father, God, let us treat ourselves accordingly. Here's another word we pray in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to its republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for the speech. Who's look the agenda?
Listen, if I may, could we change, under new business where it says A, the first reading of the business license ordinance amend, could we put Mr. McKinney in A spot and move the first reading down to B?
Okay.
Because Mr. McKinney has a lot to say along to all how we can go home.
Okay, that'll work.
Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor. I also want to add to the agenda when it comes down to contractual matter about the wastewater.
You're saying an executive session.
In executive session, yes.
Okay, anybody have a problem with that?
You said legal matter.
No, contractual
Contractual.
matter,
Okay.
wastewater. Executive session.
Okay. Now, when I get this motion to approve,
Make a motion that we approve tonight's agenda with all the necessary things changed.
okay, the motion proper second. That we approve the agenda with any necessary changes. Are we prepared to vote? Let's see, raise a hand on approval. Disapproval, same sign. Generally. Next is the approval of the minutes from June the 2nd, special call meeting, June the 10th, regular monthly meeting, June the 10th, public hearing meeting, and July the 2nd, special call meeting.
Now that make a motion. If it's no amendments, anybody have any posts that as far as one part of me, so my opinion. I'll make a motion that we approve the special call meeting minutes for 6/2/25. The regular meeting Monday meeting minutes for 6/10/25. The public hearing meeting minutes for 6/10/25. And also the special call meeting minutes for 7/2/25.
Second.
Okay, the motion properly second that we approve the minutes from June the 2nd to July the 2nd.
No. Even though I wasn't in attendance, I did read over y'all, so I have to be supposed. I wasn't like, remember? So I'm not sure when I was actually, but I did get my
I don't see why not. Do anybody else have a objection or rule on that?
Yeah, because President Gill is a member at the time the matter is considered. He feels that he executed herself on matter and to approve that.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Okay, if the motion is properly second that we approve the minutes from June the 2nd, June the 10th, and July the 2nd. Are we prepared to vote? If it is, show by a raised show of hands, all approve. And if disapproved, same sign. The minutes are approved. Right, from the public comments. And I have 3 of there anymore up here.
She's already given it to you.
Okay. Okay. First, I have is Patricia Jenkins.
Good evening.
Good evening, Shay.
Dear council members, both citizens. Good evening. It's a blessing to be here on today. I stand before you. My name is Patricia Jenkins. My husband and I, Apostle Charlie Jenkins, we're pastors of New Faith here in Adendale. We also have a nonprofit Empower Development Center. As you all know, Renewed Faith, we're very active in the community. We feed the community every Tuesday, just to kind of let you know some of the work we're doing in the community. We are charged, and we've had after-school programs, youth programs. But I stand before you on today because I need your help. As you all know in your packets, there's information regarding Community Day. That's going to be September 6th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And as you know, we usually host this event each year. And of course, I present before you that I need your help. So I stand before you asking for a donation towards Community Day. What this does is pay for the inflatables. We're having different activities. We're having a Christian comedian. We're having different local talents and gifts that's going to be on display. We're going to have vendors, there'll be food trucks and activity. And it's to promote faith, fellowships, and unity in our community. And we've been doing this for quite a few years. So I would like to ask for your donation in helping to support this event, which will promote unity, faith, collaborations, and it will give our citizens something positive to do. We're gonna have different speakers, also different singers, but like I said, it's to promote community, faith, unity, and it's something to uplift, encourage, and build on. So I would like to help this as far as if you would consider making a donation to Community Day. But I would also like to ask you, with the campus fee also, you've waived it in the past. I would also like to ask that you waive the campus fee for our vendors this year. So are there any questions so far regarding what I just said? Any questions? Okay, so also, the area in front of the church, usually we have that blocked off as far as not having local traffic, drive through, simply because we have vendors, we have citizens that's, the vendors gonna be set up along the sidewalk and street, and we're gonna have our citizens, they're gonna be walking back and through. So right before you get to Dunn Street, right in front of the church, and a little beyond the church, we're not blocking off Dunn Street. We're not blocking off Crescent. We just want a small area of Ward Street that we can use for the vendors and that we can use for Community Day. So with that being said, I would like to ask you, also considering blocking off a small portion of that so it can be utilized for Community Day. It's from the 11 to 6. It's been done before, but I was told the paperwork wasn't submitted soon enough, to be honest with you. So I am asking you, could you help me with that? And that just would ensure safety of everyone that's going to be at the community. So I thank you for your time. I hope to hear from you soon. And also, would you provide a resolution just stating that the LLC is. Thank you.
Let me ask one question, Mayor.
Yeah.
Ask me one question, Mayor.
Go ahead.
On the ticket, if you can, please put all this in writing so that we could be able to see what you're asking for.
Okay, all right. I will do that. Some of this is on the letter, but I'll be more specific,
Please.
and I'll get that to you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Think whether work too, and we will take a note. Really appreciate everything you're doing for us. This is going to be. I am aware of the community funding issues that happen. I see no point in waiting as far as you come every year. Me personally, I love it. It's going to get bigger every year. I don't think that what you're asking for is an extreme amount of units that we can't, I guess, adjust to as on council. I'm only one person, but I've seen the area. It's the other people who live in the area. It's still got access to its own. I would see where it would be a problem along, alongside with chief can accommodate that. As far as the benefit, I make a motion that the council, meaning that it's the 8th month, and we have not given any organization any donation. I feel like maybe a fair amount, being that they're doing this every single year. So me, I feel like $250. I'm making a motion every year to pay for community funding. Also, the way that the president license fees. You don't have a stream amount of business. It's a church event, and we want to show that we want to be a part of the deal. So our motion again stands. $250 for newspaper funding, waiving the president's fees, and also blocking off that small section where it will be having the event at, due to safety reasons, kids out there playing, vendors out in that section, all for safety reasons. I don't have these
Councilman Creech. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We aware of that, but we can take it up in the executive session.
There is some legal background. I may be able to provide you on that. There's certain ordinances that they apply to their one. You can take it now, but leave it, address the legal issue in the executive session. I'll get all of that.
And that change, we understand, and you know, Ms. Jenkins gonna do this every year. And a lot of people attend what we were discussing in executive session. Tricia, we will get back to you, okay?
Sounds great. And also, I would like to invite the council. Thank you. Thank you. Town council to come out. I invite y'all come out, share what you're doing, please. We'll get you in so that you can speak that you serve. Thank you again.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, next up, it's Mr. Ben Kellogg.
Thank you, Mr. Bear.
Yes, sir.
Council members, I'm Ben Kenoff from Park County. So there was just going to come and words of encouragement. Mr. Gilbert, you first said I apologize and commend you on your win. The two top finishers actually was the ones who showed up with 4, placed first and 7th. Anyway, you are a sister county. We have similar challenges, as we know. And in the last heavy rainfall we had with flooding, I got a call from Chief General said, "Is there any way possible that Bomba could loan us some sand bags?" And I said, "Well, let me make a phone call." So I made a phone call, and I got a call back in 15 minutes and said it's 1,000 bags on the line. And they should have. This was the emergency preparedness for about Columbia. They said they should have already shipped, problem forever. But We want to encourage everyone. Let's continue to move forward. We're in COG together. We're in STA together. We want to see progress. Appreciate everyone and all you're doing, and let's continue on. Got it? Less than a minute and a half.
Thank you, Mr. Kellogg. Okay. Next is Ms. Rice.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you for getting some stuff with you. I appreciate everything looks better. I'm sure everybody else appreciates it too. First of all, on the Albert County Historical Society is partnering with Dupont Missionary Baptist Church to apply for a grant with the National Trust African American Cultural Heritage Action Fund for funds to repair that church. It's a historic church formed in 1866. It has some challenges. We've just gotten the approval of historic art department, and we want to apply for this grant. And we would like to ask the town of Allen Bell to provide us supporting us. And if you will do that, I'll get you worded article. Okay. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the Keep Allen County Beautiful. The fall cleanup is October 3rd at 4. And actually, we would like, of course, I think some of that stuff is still in the lobby, but we would like to use the lobby again to put things out. And we'd like to encourage everybody to participate and try to get groups together to don't pick up trash. And one of the things that we talked about last time at our meeting was to try to get, Lottie was great about getting the Victims Associations organized, but a lot of them kind of fall by the wayside since COVID. And we talked about getting a meeting together to try to get those reinvigorated and more formed. So we haven't set a date yet. We'd like to try to get that done. And if you're in a neighborhood and you'd like something, or a neighborhood association, or I guess regardless, give me a call and I'll make sure you get some food in that. And the third thing is that on October the 24th, that's a Friday, we'll do like we did last year. We had a day where we had the Saucon baseball tree and other volunteers pick up heavy items like refrigerators and sofas and furniture that people couldn't handle and take it to the recycling center. And we're going to do that on October 24th. And we'll be advertising the telephone number to call to set that up. So spread the word around to people that may need help get heavy stuff to the land to recycling center. We don't want it on site part. So we're trying to do that. And I guess it can't do it, So that's October 24th. And the third thing is kind of SALT. SALT is a real gift to this county. It provides a lot. And anybody over the age of 60 can take any class there free. Any senior age class, art class credit. And you can order the class. And that class will start next week. And they need to get the numbers up. So why don't y'all look about and say, well, maybe I could take a Virginia Egg course or maybe enroll in something that I'd like to know more about. I'd enrolled and got Daysville's history course. I can't attend every meeting, but I think it'd be interesting because it's on the Revolutionary War Days, which goes right along how Revolutionary Days. So anybody over the age of 60 can go free. So y'all think about that and see if you can just SALT some support. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, Ms. Rice. Okay. Are there any more public comments before we move forward? Not old business. You revised a resolution certifying property located at 4561 Allenville Fairfax Highway 278 as an abandoned building site pursuant to the South Carolina Abandoned Buildings Revitalization Act, Title 12, Chapter 67 of the Code of Laws of the State of of South Carolina, 1976, as amended.
Mr. Mayor, if I may,
Yes, ma'am.
this is in reference to the resolution that came before us back in May, with the exception of Ms. Pressa Gill. We all were in a special call meeting on that evening. This is a reference to the CBB project, where the county asked us to do a resolution for them so that the developers, that the contractors can get certain tax credits. They've come back and asked, what had to happen was they needed to add an amendment. And this, according to Ms. Capers, I don't know if you all have it, but she said she did email it to everyone. The attorney has reviewed this as well. What they had to do is go back into the resolution and specify buildings on the property. So this has already been signed one time before by you for them. So we just need a signature on tonight. And if another motion needs to be made, I'd like to put in the form of a motion to allow you to again to sign the revised resolution for the CBB project, which was originally signed back. I made a motion.
Okay, it's been motion properly second that we re-sign this resolution to revise that property. I would prepare to vote. Let's see by show of hands, approval.
I had a question.
Okay,
So we talking about there. I mean, talking about the vertic over on fire. So that's all of what the town on that 125 building.
This is CB school.
that's the 278.
That's the school, and this is a county project. There's a big project that's going to be going on there because, again, that building sits within the municipality. They needed us to, go along with them, granting them our consent. We had nothing to do with that building.
No, I think you converting public property to private property. I don't know if the county had expedient loop attached to it, but it should improve the tax roll in town around it. They're basically turning the one site into 6 different sites. So that the change was to allow them to subdivide it into 6 different lots as opposed to the one big.
Remember that? It's okay. Let's go back and
I have a document in hard print. If I could get you to sign it tonight, that way I can return it back.
okay. So are we prepared to vote?
We all do.
So by show of hands for approval. Disapproval, same sign. Support. Next is new business. Our honor report, Mr. McKay.
Man.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Everybody have a copy. June 30th, 2024. Our next Thursday. We direct your attention to the table contents. I'll try to keep it for quick pop. Very complicated statement. About 50, you got 64 pages long. A very complicated statement. Sometimes hard to understand governmental accounting concepts. The average first rest of actually a CPA or somebody deals with governmental financial reporting pretty efficiently. First of all, you look on the table of contents on page 2. The financial section there. It's made up basically of the independent auditor's report and it's just discussion and analysis. And that is basically an overview of what happened during the year. Kind of explains what the town experienced. I got report A to the end of the year to the end of the year, June 30th, 2024. And it provides a good bit of insight on that. Following that are the basic financial statements. And they're broken down between government-wide financial statements and funds financial statements.
That's kind of a harder concept. This is, was introduced maybe about 30 years ago, 25, 30 years ago. Towns and municipalities and everything basically reported under a fund concept. These fund financial statements. And basically they do not exclude capital assets, do not include debt. That was basically excluded in financial statements for many, many years ago, since day one. And for towns, state local governments, except for enterprise funds, which are utilities. So bondholders basically said, we can't, we can't compare, we can't look and see debt equity ratio. We can't compare municipalities, local governments to what kind of business should be. So they came up with this concept of government-wide financial statements, like I said, about maybe 25, 30 years ago, with Governmental Accounting Standards Board statement number 34. The Governmental Accounting Standards Board dictates or promulgates standards for financial reporting for state and local governments. So the difference there between government-wide financial statements, and when you look at this, you'll be able to understand a little bit about it. The difference is government-wide financial statements are basically geared to report similarly to a business enterprise, like a normal business. It includes capital assets, you record depreciation expense, it includes long-term debt, and you record the interest on long-term debt. Principal on long-term debt is placed on the balance sheet or statement of financial position. It is not included in expenditures like fund financial statements would normally be. In the past, towns weren't really considered, and they really care about it. They just want to see principal payments and interest payments on long-term debt on the operating statement. They want to see revenue coming in from the issuance of debt on the operating statement. And that was basically the way they used to do it. But the bondholders could not do comparative analysis in order to issue bonds, and compare apples to apples when they're looking at these sort of things. So that's basically the difference between government-wide financial statements and private financial statements. So let's look real quick at what happened during the years. Few parents. Well, before we get started, let me tell you about the audit report. The private audit is issuance of an accounting report, independent audit report. And based on our audit, we are kind of fair representation of financial statements. We're fairly precise. And we give reasonable assurance that they are fairly precise. But we, based on the evidence we gathered during our audit, would provide reasonable assurance that the use of these financial statements, they're fairly precise. And based on our report, we issue what's called a clean opinion, which basically says that in our opinion, financial statements do present fairly financial position, results of operations, and cash flows of town out on a year in June 30th, 2024. So moving on, you'll look on page 10. Then went through page. That as a whole. And we talk about governmental activities, business activities. Governmental activities are where we have to break down through the fund. Now, government-wide financial statements, they're being presented like business. Business type, this would include, like police, we include public works, administration, that sort of thing. Business type activities would include utilities, sanitation department, water and sewer, and wastewater treatment plant. Looking at this, beginning net position for governmental activities was net position would be assets minus liabilities equals your equity. It's basically equity. We started out the year beginning at under governmental activities of $3,870,654. We increased positive results of operations of $150 $1,160, which gave us any net position for governmental activities of $4,021,814. Business type activities, we started off the year with $2,831,982. We had negative results of operations of $28,197, which gave us an ending net position for our equity of $2,803,786. Total combined, we started off the year with $6,702,636. We had a net increase of $122,963, which gave us an ending equity or net position of $6,825,599, an increase of 1.8%. So, the goal of the town is not necessarily to increase the reserves, it's to provide services within a budget. Basically, it looks like that's happening here, which is good. Moving over quickly to take the position. On page 16, thanks net position. Those Springs don't tell real confused, I'd like to call you piece of two. It's paying instead of what a business. Then you can see the assets, across the page, total assets. And there's this crazy thing called deferred after resources. See that? And that's from the pension plan. That's from the state retirement. State retirement system and police officer retirement system. This is basically prepaid expenses. Expenses paid by the outflows paid by the retirement system that have not been expensed yet by the retirement system. It has not hit retirement expense. This is basically done by the South Carolina retirement system. Really has no effect on the town. But 10 years ago, Governmental Accounting Standards Board required us to pick up all this stuff. And it basically, it created liabilities and everything that the town really is not ever required to pay. But it's on this balance sheet. It's on every state, municipal government throughout the state, throughout the nation, really. And I'll point that out later down here. You see deferred inflows of resources in the liability section right below it. Same thing here. But these are revenues created by the retirement system. And it's also unearned grant revenue. This is the ARP money that has not been expended yet, $925,817. The pension plan was $3,342,085. Yeah, look up above that and you see an item called net pension liability. For both funds together, $1,646,748. That's something created by the retirement system that you have to carry on your books. You would never have to pay it, but it's required to be carried on the books because you're a member of the South Carolina retirement system, resource system. In the old days, that was carried down in the equity section. Well, just accounting principle came about, we had to take it out of the equity section and put it up in the liability section, which kind of hurt a lot of towns. Over on the next page, and you'll see here the total equity of the previous page is $6,825,599. Read back with the previous statement. Yeah, you looked at or found at the whole. This statement over here on page 17, statement of activities. This is basically the operating statement. It's a weird looking statement. You ever see anything like that? But this is required by the Governmental Accounting Standards Board. When all this came about, they wanted to show over here in the left column, the lighting behind this statement. They wanted to show the expenses. And you see that over on the far left column of town, expenses, expenditures. Then you're going to see how these expenses are covered by revenues, program revenues, charges for services, capital grants, contributions. And then you come over here, especially in the governmental section, and you have a net amount. And from that net amount, down at the bottom, you have general revenues. You see all those, starting with taxes, police revenues. They wanted to show how that negative amount up there at the top is covered by general revenues. You had total general revenues of general fund of $1,792,695. When netted against these net expenditures and governmental activities, you ended up with a page of net position of $151,660, which added to the beginning net position of $3,880,654. It was ending net position of $4,021,814. Same thing over the business type activities, which is water, sewer, sanitation, wastewater treatment plant. So when everything netted together, just like we just previously mentioned, got net change of position, 122,000 increase, $122,963, which added is again net position of $6,702,636. Gave us an ending net position of $6,825,599. One other thing I like to cover is page 22. This is the budget. Fair actual budget on fund financial accounting. Fund financial accounting first. You budget, because you budget, now budgets based on a fund financial accounting rather than the government wide. The town doesn't budget for depreciation. It doesn't budget for budgets for proceed from issuance of debt. It happens to happen if you happen to issue any debt. But it does not budget for depreciation expense. It budgets for capital expenditures instead of depreciation expense. Buy a sanitation truck, budgets for purchase of that truck, and not the depreciation expense just allocated over the useful life of that truck. So looking at this, total revenues, budget, you file a budget, $1,803,098. The actual amount, the favorable amount, is actually higher. $1,970,636. Despicable variance, $114,552. From that, you can see expenditures, and this is from the general fund. That does not include price fund, water, sewer, wastewater treatment, sanitation. You can see the expenditures that was budgeted for each department: legislation, judicial, administrative, finance, public works, police, general government. You see capital outlays that were budgeted. As we mentioned earlier, this is the full amount of capital outlay for the department. The total expenditures that you budgeted was $1,993,963. You actually had expenditures of $1,993,158. Favorable budget variance of $805. So that gave us a net amount of 100 budget amount of $190,865 file budget, and actual was negative $58,508. Which gave it was favorable variance to $158,357. So you wonder, you have to insurance coverage of $8,040 netted against that, which gave us net change fund balance of $67,468. You might be wondering, well, what happened to the $150,000 net positive amount we talked about earlier under the government wide? What happened to it? It's different types of port. You look over here, you'll see 151 on page 17. 151, 160. What's the difference between that and 167, negative 67,468? Two different types of reporting we mentioned earlier. Flood reporting versus government wide. Look on page 21. This is a reconciliation between two statements. See a negative amount of start from the Clun financial statement. 67,468. We add back capital expenditures of 242,907. Subtract out depreciation expense 145,63, and add back principal balance on debts 25,122. And the budget expense included on the government wide financial statement, fund financial statement 95,662. We'll come right back up at 151, 16 word on the seven back difference. So hopefully that'll give you a little bit of an idea. And let me tell you also that in the very fact states, starting on page 56, gives you a lot more detail of the budget amounts compared to the actual amount showing you 56, 57, and 58. And you can see a lot more detail within each part of those statements. The notes to the financial statements began page 28. And these are give you idea or detail about that's included in financial statements. Sheet for it. Financial statements are made up of three basic budgets, made up of account balances, the assets, liabilities, equity. Those are balance sheet items. They're made up of transaction classes, operating items, which would be payroll, revenue, payroll, expenditures, goods and services. And they're made up of disclosures. These disclosures right here are included starting on page 28. And they give you a lot more detail about the account balance, transaction classes included in the statements. Okay. Any questions? Oh, it's kind of a hard thing if you understand the weird statements. That's just your Elkville County. Have any questions? Yes. Anyone have any questions? You do, keep record of Miss Fitz. She contact artists. Give you my note. Get a chance to that.
Purpose.
Yes.
I love the
All right, thanks. That's
good.
Okay.
That would let's see with our good time.
Yeah, they're complicated. But there is before we just you get a when you're dating. Oh, yeah, they've been submitted to the state by the secretary again. Yes.
Also be for ladies.
Okay.
Please.
Okay. All right, so
I'm pretty sure they'll take my time on those.
that's supposed to be
If nobody has anything for Mr. Kenny, we'd appreciate this.
Now, there has been, your question earlier, there has been a push, and it probably never will happen. We call it, June set the county president, call it GAP. GAAP, store, June set the county president. There has been a push for big gap, which is little gap. Little gap for smaller towns, and you're looking at how that's big gap. The G you know, big house, they'll have state like that. The state local governments, our state that's it. This not big school. But as we go along during the audit, preparation of long-term debt schedule, these sort of things, capital assets, everything are prepared and they're picked up and will go off the audit and they're tied back to the financial statement. They're included as part of it. So, proceed out. Do you have questions? So, Mr. again, thank you, sir. Yeah, sorry about fog, so I got the hold on for that.
Make a motion, if we are placed, can you make the motion at this point that we receive the audit for the year ending June 30th, 2024?
Second.
This is what make it.
Yes.
Motion has been made that we accept the audit year 2024 from Judge Weston.
Yes, ma'am. I just need to move forward. Mr. Davis, we don't have to do a first and a second because this happens only once a year. I just want to refresh my memory.
So this is the ubiquitous receiving that space. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm you sure. Mean that I just use it tonight. I be wants the quotes like on use that. It's a use per. One of the benefits of the economist's mission of it is that there's what money called aid to subdivisions you all get from the state. That if your audit is delinquent, then that money tells. So, but timely presentation of the audit keep the money flow coming from the state.
We are in good standing with down our audits. So,
Okay. It is a question about the audit.
and to Councilmember Creech, he did say once you have a more opportunity to review and if you have questions, always present them.
Once again, like any more questions about the audit? If not, I would prepare the board. We see by show of hands for approval. Is approval same side? What is approval? All right, next on the agenda is the first reading of the business license ordinance amendment for 2026.
There,
Yes, ma'am.
the state of South Carolina is now engaging and we are not in compliance with the business license code for the state of South Carolina. So they have given small municipalities such as ours allowable time to get in compliance, which we are required to by December, and we have to have that amendment to the previous business license ordinance approved and ready to move January 2026. We have to be in compliance. It's not a choice because it started in 2023. So I'm asking that we've had your business license ordinance already. So this is by the Act 176, which was approved in 2020, giving all the municipalities enough opportunity to get their business license uniform. This is where businesses can go online. Everybody has the same code, and we're pretty much in compliance with what our ordinance saying. We are in standard. We just have to add this to our business license ordinance. Your interesting question.
Mr. Mayor, if I may. This page 3, Councilwoman Fitz, Exhibit A with these breakdowns. Are we supposed to like it says sector and a number and then the industry, then the class type? Here, is this something more for formality for the front office, or are we to understand with this scale is kind of breaking down?
This scale breaks down all the different types of variable of areas, professions, or like agriculture, mining, utilities. That's for calculations purposes. When they get ready to do their like somebody goes in and they have an amusement park, something like that. They're coded. This would be the class code they fall under. This is in a manual that is quite extensive with business license, and you have to go by the code. And we are in compliance with the codes that are expected by the state of South Carolina.
But that, in 2023, you all adopted an update that time. And I think it assigns certain rates to different coded activities. And this is just updating the code of activity.
I do understand that, and I asked the question because sometimes,
That's the thing primarily.
okay, because sometimes, we have people that are asking questions about, business license and pricing and stuff like that. So just want to ask if we need to understand that the coding, or, just more so, like you say, direct them to the front office and get staff.
Mayor, if I may.
Yes, ma'am.
Good question. So with this renewal thing, the question that I'm asking is, most of the businesses, including myself, will be concerned because, business concerned the business life. So with that, when are you gonna let the business work that we have as council? We're gonna, if approved, gonna adapt this particular new way of government, which means they can go online and do their information. But then there's a couple underlying things that the business should know also, that it's according to their, the revenues that they put on their tax form. So are we gonna educate the businesses to let them know in advance versus just passing it just whenever they come to the front office say, hey, this is, what it is.
For all intents purposes, when the Act 17, the one that was passed, it was supposed to be at that point when we're not staffed with someone doing that or having the staff to update it, so they're using the old method. But at this point, you will receive a letter of businesses say what your taxes are, what category you fall under. And you should get a lot. You should get a letter, and I mentioned something about it, telling you, this is your acting period. And in being able to go online, once we're not even online, first of all, yet. We will not be until we're in compliance, which has to be done with starting first with your ordinance being in place. Once you get your corrected ordinance and you have your code there, you will move forward. Yeah.
So do we have to be
based on your earnings?
earning that taxes? That's what they said. Like, you want to let them know that it's just not word of mouth anymore. It's whatever is going to be on their IRS. They're going to be responsible. They're going to be liable for whatever they put on this particular information. And if they put anything incorrect on this information, then that means to avoid that particular issue because it will not be true.
Yes, they can't verbalize just what they make. It's not going to be acceptable because once you're in compliance, the revenue
From the revenue
department of
Well,
revenue.
let's take away the cheat.
Yeah.
In order, they are able to access your actual, before it was an honor system, it's like, Mr. Davis's business would say, my revenue is this, and large to the municipality didn't really have to use the set, checking on it. And so now this will be, with the computer system,
you put it in, the revenue comes up, this is the last.
I mean, I hear that, but I just wanted to see if everybody else hears that. And, so that's why I made this thing, to ask that question. So it benefits the business as well as the community. So just in case the community is interested in getting a business, this will be a woman to give them also.
It'll be correspondence fees out with businesses who have been on, with new business information. But the existing business will get some correspondence, giving them information regarding, I think, if that's a stacking issue, the problem is stacking.
So my other question is, do we have anybody that's certified to do it? QRS is one as of now. I mean, we have to be certified by December of 2025. So do we have anybody that is?
Staff division.
That, Miss, Angela is already attending the training and she's had to get up to speed, but she sent them out this year what she could send based on the information she had. But moving forward, we are hoping to network as other municipalities with Gov possible. That's
That's coming up in executive.
and that's gonna come out later in the section so we can talk about it. She address. Thank you.
Young question be clear. I'm looking at either section where it says section primary that occurs not sick that one of we pull their lead text. Business license case all based on both. As I if said and then me go to mom just be clear. Such as like couple numbers. Correct?
Right.
So like once you put fear hey you get the right from. Right, so that's proven out again, or it'd be perfect. I know, well,
Hey, any other questions? The first reading of this.
You need a motion.
Yes.
Make a motion that we approve the first reading of the business license ordinance amendment for 2026.
Okay, it's been motion properly second that we approve the first reading of the business license ordinance amendment for 2026. Comes to a question. Hearing none, are we prepared to vote? By approval by show of hands. Disapproval, same sign. Please read disapproval. Okay. Next on the agenda is committee reports. First up is Finance Department. Good evening.
The original budget for this is the incomes, this is the general fund statement for the years July 31st, 2025. The original budget was $2,440,844. The remaining budget is $2,246,138. Now for the water and sewer department, their original budget was $1,660,157, and the remaining budget is $1,546,703. And that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Sarah. Are there any questions about the finance report? Hearing none. Next up is Police Department.
Good evening.
Good afternoon.
So, couple of things. We've got for a couple months of July. We got over hundreds about calls. What I want to take it for quick that we report. We signed a MOU with two departments that had ever signed with Alabama Police Department in over 20 years. So that is a plus for us. The gas line for the generator had been installed at the police department. The generator restart installed on Friday morning, provided a bit. Our officer dance, fill up it. Has finished her 4 weeks at the academy, at the office. She goes tomorrow to do her practice puberty test. You want to keep her in our prayer, it's all, we're promoting. The police department is this, Subac school events. You're now going back, putting the oil tag on cars on the side of the road. There's several cars that's been shot. One that's busted out, tire pump, car PT. There's people doing maintenance work on cars on the side. So we're going on it. Tagging the car, giving a 24-hour book. That's where they got a license plate or not. It's getting to be more of a safety / property damage. Then they want to file reports, and so to keep that, all that he disposed, he get a sticker to go into the apartments. It's the park car that go up to that. Breath I gotta be in the hip set.
So,
Anybody got any chief?
one question, Chief, Home Mill Street, so we're not stuck out here for that on Saturday.
It got took Friday of the week. Yes, I've been called on you Friday.
Thank you.
Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
You sound like you've been like this. Congratulations to your staff member. Those MOUs, are you able to expound and inform us of that an executive?
Mason County has signed an MOU with us. We've also got a training with them. So our officer can go into their training. When they have training, their plot training, we're able to go train with him. Officer Downs has been wanting to do an attack test once a week at least. So we make sure she's prepared for the academy. So once we get staffed, our officer, one ship will go on the one block week training, the other ship will go to the next block week training. So we're up to date with our training that we've never had before he would, I don't know, police part, all of that. The other one is Ball City. Ball City has never signed a guarantee with Outlet this sport.
Okay, thank you, chief. Okay, next up is personnel department.
Firstly, we are always advertising for police meets, and the chief and I talk about it, and we try to come up with strategies along with the mayor on how we can get our department back up to snuff. We are actively advertising for an administrator, feel real good about. That's going to be moving forth pretty quickly. And we're just those about the 2 vacancies we currently have, administrator and our always need the police officers. Always. And that concludes.
Okay.
And I think Mr. Badge is not able to be here. He has a veteran's family. Dan, we just wanted to he's filled all his positions. Am I right? He's filled all his current vacancies he's had.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So with personnel and the administrator job posted, could you let the citizen know where these positions are being currently posted at? Yes.
If you have a paper from last week, it won or 3 more consecutive weeks in a paper. It's a little costly. Department of Employment and Workforce is supposed to be posted, and we are still having some witches in the municipal there, as well as the board. We are still waiting on her to do graphic, because to put it on our board, which is located in the park, there has to be graphic done, and she's working on that right now too. Because the police is going to be continuous. The administrator is going to run 3 consecutive.
Some of this house can have a glitch in the system, right? We don't know when that's going to be up and
They had to review it and
put it in.
so it's within that 3-week.
so in that run it as long as 2 weeks.
Okay. So it can be the scope of beyond the 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Candidates?
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, I didn't have a chance to talk with Mr. Badger. What he's going through a situation with family. I'm thinking that, and I will ask Mr. Creech, I'll be able to support tobacco, and I guess to the entire council, tobacco.
You are signing this church, it's very, the conference, whatever that.
Okay. And the truck, they could pick up the debris.
Hey, there's a tree around. He said it was fixing on her when I asked Becco, it was just got back in our possession. They were trying to we slot days, not around asphalt. Tall dark part, or I've been on this or hard work guys. It's it back was back up on that.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Creech. Thank you, Council. Thank you, Mayor. That's the end of it.
Okay, sir. And by the way, I am your co-chair on that committee. But appreciate that, Marlon. But yes, the backhoe is up and running. The truck is up and running. We hadn't had a chance yet to start picking up the limbs because of these water leaks, trying to get them fixed. And as soon as you fix them, they burst again. So hopefully we're gonna be able to get the limbs soon, so we start moving, get them out off the street.
Thank you so much.
That's right, Mr. Mayor, I would like to add this clarity so citizens will understand what the leaks are precedents, because your water leak is important because it counts against your ability to accurately determine how the water is being utilized. Because we've gotten our system is so old, and that's what everybody needs to understand. These pipes have been in the ground forever, and they are just we've had help. We've got a lot of folks coming down every week, working with us, our Columbia, trying to help us deal with that. But our system is old, our pipes are old. They say sometimes when you fix one right by another one's gonna develop. That is just because our system is, our infrastructure is just so old, and it's millions of dollars when you're talking about replacing your pipeline. And so I just want citizens to know they're having to deal with that, because you've got to contain your water flow as it goes through the streets. And people, you don't want accident, you don't want people, it creates a hole, and you have to work on it. And that's why we're struggling, having to make sure we fix all those leaks to keep them from creating more holes, more potholes here. And they're truly, with the help we're getting now, we're moving. At least we've been promised help, at least up until December.
Let me add something that fits. Not only that, these our lines, and it was put down at the ground years ago, almost 100 years ago, I guess.
Yeah.
Things were like this now, and they weren't buried that deep. And we didn't have the kind of weight traveling these roads that we got now, because the average truck out there now is running anyway from 70,000 pounds, 80,000. A lot of them doing 90 and 100. So that's a lot of weight on those old pipes, and they're not buried that deep. I had to hire the DOT came out and to show us the proper way to patch holes. And they did. They patched 2. So they patched 3. Within a month, they was back leaking. So it ain't that the guys don't know what they're doing. It's condition that's around the pipes. And yesterday, I was in a meeting at Claflin University with Representative Clyburn's staff out of Washington. And there was other agencies there, but what I'm trying to say is that same problems is across the board. Just not only Allendale. Talked to the administrator from Bamberg. He's got the same problems. And we talked about different things. And I asked him, I said, you must be looking at my notes. Because we all got the same issues, same problem. How we gonna fix it? We don't know, but we're working on it. Money gonna be the first issue. That's what they are looking at now. They may be trying to come up with a way to get some money down in the lower state. Try to get some of these things taken care of. Now our problem, I can't say when it will be fixed. We have to keep on working on it. That they bust, it'll have to keep we fixing it. They've been preparing the ones on 301. We just did that one a couple of months ago. That go back today and we fix it. So just gotta be patient because the money is the issue. And I don't know what it's gonna take. Ideal situation for Allendale, I can't say about nobody else, for us to get some type of grant or something that would redo our water system. Because our water system is up against today's standards, and it's a big difference. So anyhow, if you ever have a question, feel free to come down to town hall or contact me, and we can discuss it.
I see one thing there for you, be cool, man.
Yes, sir.
I want to just show appreciation to our guys from Harvard.
Oh, yes.
It's been very, very hot. You guys are hot at work. Just thanking our guys for that. Thank you.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Chief, are all your vehicles up to par and no mechanical issues?
We just had like a charger that we paid for from the surplus. You did get Josh down, screw up rotors, that you had well pay for it. So, here about our early US car in 23. They got 8 out of problem.
Okay, that's it. All right, next up, water and sewer.
Well, I don't have a report for you all along this evening. And as you all have already stated, Mr. Badger's not here, but they have been working on a lot of leaks and things of that nature around town. So that's the gist of what I know about.
Okay. But these leaks play into, like Ms. Fitz say, our report for drinking water. Well, the water that's been pumped, water that's been sold, and the wastewater. It plays in there heavily. I was talking to Rural Water last week. We were down checking the fire irons, make sure all of them was up to par with the pressure. And those leaks really play into the reports for that. So moving right along, going to sanitation. Okay.
And with sanitation, I did go group of this Badger. States that be against smoking gas, so you delegate. Probably delegate. Some people will be strictly called cutting grass. We don't want to get behind as far as trash though. So we had so many geeks in the town. And well, not like you there also, but he fix the leaks and then he try to keep up the trash. So now it be that he have full staff. That's young guys that's on the trash. So bees just have build them, gross build that they all out there trying to some good. And they take on themselves to apply for the job. But right now, I'm asking that they say they're going pretty well. So once you delegate, then be able to y'all be able to see the assistant guys like this thing where that's on the number at all time, most of the time. Okay. But give them this sort of deal. See, they are going to control beside the pool, the open grass, and also blind spots for if I push when you come up to the insect. That goes for me problem. I spoke to them about and they show that best. Also spoke to about on it on favorite transportation. So they don't understand that they need to cut certain branches, leaves, trimming of all throughout town. All right, so we doing our part, they very part to do well. So as far as trash pickup is still on schedule. We don't want to be behind that because that's be a whole nother month. The last and bags, leaves, those days are normally Thursday and Friday. Should we not get behind on trash pickup? Okay, so the backhoe is up and running. The limb truck is here, and being that they have a little veteran stuff, not going to go out soon. Once you get back, you're gonna have to delegate. You're gonna have to appoint people to do what's necessary to make sure he's on the road as far as trash pickup and bags cut Thursday and Friday, nails, bags pickup. That's what we discussed. And I hope it ain't safe. So for sanitation, that's all I have.
Any questions?
No, Mr. Creek, that second truck working. Both trucks working or both trucks working?
Both trucks are operation, functioning properly at the moment. They don't drive the city truck as they should because they love Jeep truck work. And in the day, both of them are functioning. And we're looking forward to that pending set that we get our third truck. So therefore, hopefully we can look at some other XPs that's up for us having our neighbors. That's like I said, a little order costs a little bit, but we'll make sure that we're okay first, and then you can kind of dive into both. But also short, the Charlie's up on.
Thank you, Mr. Creek.
Any other questions for sanitation department? If not, community development. Mr. Creech.
Community development. What we have is church. First, I want to start with this assist because Splash Park has been started big. I'm going to lead off on that.
Okay, we're excited. We're moving forward with something that I think sometimes when people think if you're not actually in it every day to see what's going on, you start to say they ain't doing nothing. But I'm here to tell you, we've worked really hard, and this is when not just with this council, or it's been councils before that have given so much to this town that people sometimes don't even acknowledge. But I want to say that we are moving forward with our water park, and we're moving along. We were not expecting things to happen so quickly. Yesterday, we got a call at early in the morning that a van truck was here with hoppers, and we were looking for little small pallets, and we got a big van with our parks equipment, already playground equipment, our slides and the water. The only part, I think, the splash pad and a few more items are headed this way, because in talking with the delivery folks, they said they deliver at all their sites at a certain time. We just was but with the chief's help and being the go-to to get some stuff done, we were able to store those items. We had to reach out and get some help because we didn't realize the size of what we were getting until it got here. And Chief Evans jumped right in and helped us, got it stored and got it moved and made all the contacts so we could get that moving along. And then we see this other tractor coming behind it with this I don't know what you call these little things. It's an excavator, and they said, well, we came to start prepping the land. I said, prep the land. We were not even expecting that. But that happened as well. If you go by the Winthrop Park now, you will see where the ground is being prepped. So they are moving, and they said approximately where we thinking probably October, November. They said the phase go and the weather permit, they should be finished in 3 to 4 weeks. They said it would be done, So our children, if the weather holds out and it's warm in September, our children will get to enjoy that. And we want all councils, to be a part of that, because that's collective effort. That's just not one person effort. It's something that everybody had to really want to see happen to make it happen. And we want to see our children and not having to take our kids over to Statesburg, not having to go to Farmville, not having to go to Orangeburg. They'll have their own. And we're gonna challenge the parents of these young children, because it's young children, to really help us monitor. We're gonna have certain things in place, of course, to ensure that, you know, it's safe and it's being kind of watched a little to make sure things are in order. But we're excited about this in the county. You know, they're working with us, and we're running this thing together. And as a result, I want to share, if Councilman Peach will allow me also to talk about some other things that has happened briefly, and it's all part of community. We were in turn, after we were funded for the water park effort, contacted by the Department of Commerce. They stopped us and say, well, we need to look at some of what you all have. And that's exactly what they've done. They looked at, and we've got a strategic plan going with a group that had already been established. So we were able to intermingle all this together. We're still working together. We just having to wait to hear. And they're looking at some funding to help us with our building as well. And phase 2 of the Old Warren Hotel has started. They've been in, they've done the analysis and looking at what's inside there. But also the Department of Commerce was just really ecstatic about how we own our own properties. And most, you know, municipalities don't own, would love to own what we have, because we can make it work in our favor. Because you're going to have to, when your population is dropping, they said you're going to have some mechanism to keep your town viable. And that's a lot of stuff. And even though this other group that really have been working ahead of us and doing some stuff, and people on that committee themselves have given so much and worked on some of those projects, you know, tirelessly, and they've given of their time. So we you know, some things are gonna happen. It just takes time, and it takes patience and tolerance and understanding that just because you don't see it, even with some of the stuff that's coming, you may not see it because it might be going under the ground. If not, you will see some of the end of the fruits at some point. We just have to be positive ourselves about our own community and stop the rhetoric about our own community and destroying our own selves from the inside out. And I say that and I mean it. We got to look at all the positive aspects, because you got to remember, our tax base is not way up here. Our tax base is down here. So you have to make it work within your means. And I say to people, stop criticizing your own community. Know that some things are happening. None of this happened overnight, and it's not going to improve overnight. So I say to you, just be patient and work with us. Come and join some of these committees. Some of the same people almost could come and start stepping up and joining these committees. When you see them working, because they took 125, went out, and that group was just working. So join, rather than criticize, join these committees. And I'll relinquish the rest of it to our committee chair. Oh, yeah. And also, bit of good news, Pell Letter State Bank has approached the town and requested some variances, which I think, you know, they've gotten all their ducks in a row. We feel real good about it. And they would also like to build a new bank on their property that they own, which is commercially zoned. And I see in this, our attorney, it was for him, and he knows all of it.
There's a draft ordinance out there. I think you all have to do a public hearing if this goes. I mean, you can do that at commission level, you can do it at the county level, but it has to be held one place or the other. And so I don't think it was held below, so you gotta have it here.
Yeah.
And so you gotta get 15 days notice, you know, the public. Or concerned about it. But beyond that,
Okay. So that's where we are.
you have the recommendation of approval.
Yeah.
And so it's a question of whether you all will accept the you know, but you have your public hearing. Well, I think an ordinance was submitted. It wasn't on the agenda, wasn't picked on the agenda, but
when the agenda was amended, it wasn't added at that time, so we're at the end. We fit.
And it's just to the $5 meeting. Another me. No, right?
No, this
Thing is here. But are you get them here sign up on? So let me just put it out there. Maybe some people in, make it pass it along. That's a nice size building. And somebody might want to be interested in investing in all them, that'd be great. Also, BGC that SRP is on the move. Is off the ground. They're out there working diligently. Again, I'm a little bit disappointed. I did see thanking you, Jessica, for part of my.
I'm about to say now.
Yeah, there's another star in the big I guess it's from to small token. You could just have police all out here. That's the things out there. I don't want to kind of expose too much or so, but again, housing, I just need buzz kind of tighten up on that area a little quick so we can make sure that they are welcome. Yeah, I think even boy big city about them that. But as far as meeting development, I think that's the much all we have. This has done a wonderful job, and I think we should. Let's look now. So first, I didn't have executive session.
Okay. If there's any other thing, old community development? If not, you be prepared to go into executive session. Can I get a second? Okay. It's been motion, problem second that we enter into executive session.
You going to the room?
Right, because I know.
Any fruit?